According to the Hebrew civil calendar, we are at the 12th month on the Hebrew civil calendar. This was the calendar which was used before the first Passover, and the ecclesiastical calendar, or the sacred calendar, was given to Moses, making the start of the Hebrew year the month of Abib, or Nisan. And what God was speaking to me about is that he's bringing things to a close. He's bringing cycles to a close. This is the month also on the sacred calendar. That is the month of Elul, which is the month when God, or the king, is in the field. And he brings strength. He strengthens his people. He communes with his people, and he also brings justice. Now, Virgo, the constellation Virgo, is Bethuel in Hebrew, is a maiden or a virgin with a sheath of wheat in her hand. And this represents also the field. And the field represents the harvest as well. And God being the Lord of the harvest, this is a time of harvest, a time of justice. Both the king being in the field represents justice, but so does the constellation Virgo. She represents justice. And so a theme of this Hebrew month is justice and harvest. And if we look at the civil calendar, it's bringing things to a close and birthing new beginnings. Virgo is the woman in Revelation 12 who gives birth to the man-child, to Christ, and also who mothers the offspring, the believers in the earth, and who raises them up and nurtures them and builds them up. So this month is about bringing forth Christ in the earth, Christ in the believers, and manifesting his will for our lives individually, but also for humanity collectively in the earth, and birthing the new beginnings, which will lead us into Rosh Hashanah. It will lead us into the Hebrew New Year according to the civil calendar, which will fall in, I believe this year it will fall, yes, in October, beginning of October. So normally it falls within September, October. This year it's going to fall within October because we had a leap year this year, and so things are pushed out a little bit on the later end of things. So, but what God was telling me this morning is that he's bringing to completion some of the cycles that have kept our bloodlines in bondage. So there's been these repeating cycles, and we've been in a process of being delivered over a span of time and over our lifetime of being delivered of these cycles, these generational detrimental cycles that we've been accustomed to, and that have been iniquity in the DNA that has been passed down and been needing to be processed out. And so at this time of completion, at this time in the time of giving birth, the time of being within the constellation Virgo, of birthing, so that we can see the new beginning, the enemy would come to try to abort that from manifesting, the will of God from manifesting and being birthed forth. And so he's coming to try to stir up strife, confusion, delay, to try to bring forth temptation to return back to the old cycles. And this is what I feel the Lord is saying that much of us are experiencing, and it can be confusing because we are aware in the spirit that this is the time where the manifestation of the sons of God, of the inheritance of God, of the kingdom of God, is to be present and to come forth. And this is a time where the harvest is plenty. Yet we're seeing all this warfare and injustice. But this is because the enemy knows the time is short. And we're moving into the liberation and the freedom and the finality of the moving out of the bondage and the iniquity that has plagued our bloodline. Because we are the curse breakers. We are the end time army of God. We have been called for such a time as this to manifest the kingdom and to break off the iniquity and the generational curses that have been passed down. And so I share this just to encourage you that if you, I feel for myself that I'm encountering things that I thought had already been dealt with, and they have been dealt with. And this is where the enemy comes in and tries to play tricks on our mind. But the deliverance and the thorough cleansing of a bloodline it happens in stages. And so we are at the finality of that stage of where we're truly walking in the freedom and the authority of Christ on a level we have not experienced yet. And so with that comes a re-looking at things and cycles and mindsets and having familiar spirits enter to test us to see if we're going to fall back into those same patterns or if we're going to stand firm and break free and move forward with the will of God for our lives. And so stand firm, doing all you have and can do to stand firm in God. Be in prayer, be in worship, be in fasting, be in the word, be encouraged. Keep your eyes fixed on God and pass this test, because we are moving into the promises of God manifesting in our lives, and we're just moments away from that. We're moments away from a great harvest, not only of souls, but of inheritance, of finances, of wealth, of healing, of mental, emotional restoration, spiritual growth and increase. We're just moments away. So stay encouraged. Be blessed.